Today, it is my great pleasure to welcome Jo Kellett. Jo Kellett is an aromatherapist specialized in women's hormonal journey from puberty to menopause. Jo has been a practicing aromatherapist for over 25 years, graduating from the Severine Institute of Holistic Aromatherapy in 1996. She returned to the Severine Institute in 1999 to teach essential oil therapeutics and remained there until its close in 2004. Whilst at the Institute, she trained to teach baby massage with the International Association of Infant Massage. She also teaches on the Niels Yard's Remedies Aromatherapy Diploma and taught massage at Institute of Traditional Herbal Medicine and Aromatherapy for 9 years. In 2010, she obtained accreditation from IFPA to teach CPD, Continuing Professional Development, offering courses to postgraduate students throughout the year. Her career has focused on women's health, encouraging women to use essential oils throughout their hormones journey, from puberty through to menopause. She is currently employed as Severine's essential oil expert and advises on blends and development for new products. Jo has lectured on the benefits of aromatherapy and has had articles published in America, Taiwan, and the UK on the benefits of aromatherapy. She is a contributing author to Aromatherapy for Health Professionals, 5th edition, and was commissioned to write the Little Book of Baby Massage for Dorling Kindersley. So, Jo, can you tell us what is aromatherapy and how it works, please?
Aromatherapy is a natural holistic therapy, and it harnesses the fragrance and therapeutic properties of essential oils. Aromatherapy is the application of these essential oils, either through massage, inhalation, or in a pre-prepared blended product. So how it works? Well, mostly through smell. So when we smell something or inhale it, we smell through our nose, and the smell chemical molecules end up in a part of our brain called the limbic system. Now, the limbic system is known to be one of the most ancient parts of our brain, and it's responsible for where we lay down our memories, where our basic survival needs are met, things like telling us if we're thirsty, hungry, if we need to sleep, and also very closely linked to the hypothalamus, which is part of our hormonal system. But when we apply essential oils through the skin, so if you have a massage or you put them into a base oil or a lotion and you put them in the skin, they do actually travel into the body. So the essential oil molecules travel into the bloodstream, and then they work more on a sort of physical level. So inhaling them gives us a more emotional effect, uplifting, sedative. But if you put them on the body, they're going to have a more physical effect. So things like tummy ache or headaches. So it's a sort of combination of the two, and it sort of works together.
You mentioned that aromatherapy works with essential oils. So what are essential oils?
In those little brown bottles, they should be a single botanical source. They're a fragrant, volatile liquid from a single botanical source. So that means they're fragrant, they smell. Whether they smell good or not is very idiosyncratic, because some smells will be lovely to some people and not so nice to others. They're volatile, they evaporate at different levels, and they all have therapeutic properties.
Do they all have to be in a little brown bottle?
Brown or blue, dark colour, because the essential oils, they don't like daylight, they don't like the sunshine, so that's part of the reason they're always in those little dark bottles.
What should we be aware of when choosing essential oils?
There are some really good high street names: Niels Yard, Tisserand, Absolute Aromas, and Boots Botanic. They have a very small range, but they're decent, and that's a really good starting point. What's really important for me is that on the label, it'll say the common name, so let's use lavender again, and then it should clearly state the botanical or the Latin name. So for lavender, that's Lavandula angustifolia. That's where a lot of misinformation is found on the internet. Someone will say, oh, lavender's good for this or for that, but which lavender do they mean? Because there are many different types of lavender. Check out their website. It's really important to see sort of what their sort of sustainability pledge is. Do they talk about the oils? Do they have someone who's a professional who can blog about the oils and point you in the right direction?
In terms of quality, I know, for food, it's always best to buy organic. Is there such thing with essential oils?
It's a very expensive process to get the soil association recognition. Some farmers who are growing these plants, they're really tiny little farms. They might just be growing a very small amount of crop, and they may not have the sort of facilities, money even, to sort of jump through all the hoops of soil association. So organic is good, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can only buy organic essential oils. You can get organic oils for the citrus family, tea tree, eucalyptus. They tend tend to quite often be the really highly produced essential oils because they're produced on such a large scale. So these companies have the organic standard.
Are there different concentration of essential oil?
In the little bottles, they should just be 100% pure essential oils. When they're placed into products, when a company has made a body lotion or a bath oil or a face cream, then there'll be definitely all different levels of percentages depending on the oil that's used and also where it's being used on the body and for what application.
What would you say are the, let's say, 3 or 5 essential oils that any woman going through the menopause, if she wants to experiment with aromatherapy, should get?
That's a really wide question. My opinion around perimenopause and menopause is that it's totally multifaceted. Women will have different experiences. So if you're coming to an aromatherapist, you'll get a consultation to find out. But if you're a layperson, you want to go out and you want to start experimenting with oils, you ask me. So I've chosen 5 essential oils. So the first one I would look into is Geranium, Pelargonium graveolens. So that's its botanical name. It's a very florally smell, but it's actually extracted from the leaves of this particular geranium plant. It's really balancing for your emotions, but also things like skin as well. Next up, Clary sage, which again is a flower. That's Salvia scleria. Very sort of heady, potent aroma. You only need a tiny little bit aromatically. Again, a hormone regulator, very euphoric, very uplifting, nurturing and nourishing, and really importantly, it's a great aphrodisiac. My next choice would be Roman chamomile, Anthemis nobilis. For me, chamomile is a fantastic sedative. So it's very good for sleep, for calming anxieties, suppressing red emotions. So anger, pain, inflammation, whether that be emotional or physical. And it's a really good analgesic pain relieving oil. So it'd be really good for things like joint pain. Next up, frankincense, Boswellia carteri. You'll have seen frankincense in a lot of products because it's a fantastic skin oil, particularly for a more mature skin. It's very nourishing to the skin and very hydrating. And emotionally, it's really good for transition changes when people need a little bit of support. Aromatically, it's quite sort of woody, sort of sharp, slightly sort of medicinal aroma, but it also has a very sort of sweet note running through it as well. And then I'd say to you, find a citrus oil. You've got lemon at the sharp end, and you've got then grapefruit and sweet orange, you've got yuzu, bergamot, lime. There are so many different citrus oils, but they all have a very similar therapeutic action. They're all uplifting, positive, remind us of sunshine. Remember when I talked about when we smell something, it goes to a memory part of our brain. So the citrus oils nearly always have a really good association. And when we feel good, our body works better. We just feel better. They're also really good digestive tonics as well. Those 4 oils plus 1 citrus covers a lot of the bases, and smell is very personal. So I could say to you, this oil is going to be really good to help you sleep. But if you don't like the smell of it, you're just going to be lying there going, I don't like the smell.
Would it be true to say that essential oils can balance hormones?
There's more and more research being done around essential oils in lots of different fields, in dementia care, in antibacterial, and also a lot around hormonal support. But there's one in particular that gets quoted quite a lot. So in 2017, there was some research done with some essential oils where women were just given essential oils to inhale. And the results, I'm going to read this so I get it right for you. The results demonstrated an increase of salivary estrogen concentration in the participants compared with the control group. Now, our hormones can be tested through saliva to very sort of low levels. So that was really interesting just to see that just by inhaling these essential oils, these women's estrogen levels were slightly sort of raised, but enough to encourage that sort of estrogen production.
Heard that, I read that. But until someone who is actually a specialist can confirm that.
I've got plenty of clients who are on HRT and also using essential oils. I've got clients who are on HRT using essential oils and using acupressure, herbs, what they're eating. You know, it's a really multifaceted approach.
Now we'd like to discuss skin. They are probably becoming more and more aware of all the toxins that are put into the makeups, the moisturizer. And I know a number of women who are actually starting to put together their own moisturizer and cream. So could you share some insight about how to do this?
It's a really burgeoning part of aromatherapy. I'm more of a massage girl. For me, it's all about massage for my clients on a very sort of of really basic level, I can give you some information. And what's really important is that you are diluting your essential oils. If you want to make up a body oil or a body lotion, there are lots of places you can buy just plain vegetable body oil in a health food shop, sweet almond, jojoba, peach kernel. So as a rule of thumb, you can add 10 drops in total of your chosen oil in 20 milliliters. And that can make a really lovely body oil or body lotion. But for the face, you need to really drop the dilution. So that would just be 4 drops per 20 milliliters. And that's because the face is slightly more sensitive. The choice of essential oils, so many. I'm going to give you 2 I think are really sort of good around sort of menopause skin. I've already mentioned frankincense, and the other one would be neroli, which is orange blossom. I'm afraid they are quite expensive, but you only need a few drops. And as a general rule of thumb, the floral oils and the wood oils are really good skin oils, and particularly for our age group as well. My favorite base oil is jojoba, the one that's spelled Jojoba. Its chemical composition is very similar to the skin's composition, so it makes it a really ideal body oil to use.
Would you advise to keep the essential oils in glass recipients?
You can add the essential oils into a plastic container. You need to use it within about 2-3 months.
Let's move on to another menopause symptom, which is sleep and insomnia. Obviously very common. And we know that some oils like lavender can help. Which oils and how would you recommend using them?
If you don't like lavender, even though everybody tells you it's a good sleep oil, you're going to lie there sort of tossing and turning. So there's a couple of other options. One I've already mentioned, which is Roman chamomile, Anthemis nobilis, a really good sedative, very calming, very soothing. And another one you could try is sweet marjoram, Origanum marjorana. But using your essential oils, first off, you could use your diffuser in your bedroom, add your essential oils, put it on, and then shut the bedroom door so that you've got, half an hour to let the aromatic molecules float through your bedroom, and then turn off your diffuser as you go to bed. Use them in the bath, hot water, wind down, luxurious bath. Or if you really haven't got time for that, or you're just really desperate and you just want to sleep, just literally 1 or 2 drops on your pillow away from your face where you're going to lie. And you can do that with lavender, chamomile, the sweet marjoram. Smell those oils first, if you can, before you purchase them. And see just whether you like the aroma. Yeah, lavender is very well researched in relation to sleep, and it can work.
Stress, anxiety, moods. Are there any oils that could help with that?
Postmenopause, the small amounts of estrogen and progesterone are produced from your adrenal glands, and that's where we produce, all our sort of, adrenaline and cortisol. So to produce that estrogen and progesterone, you need to bring those stress levels down. And I think a lot of the conversation around menopause is around self-care. Really do take the time to find things that bring you joy, because now is the time to really focus on that. But if you want to enhance that with your essential oils, come back to the diffuser, because you can put it on in your bedroom, put it on in the hallway, on your desk, and the oils are there and they are filling the air with those aromas. And go and have an aromatherapy massage. Don't see it as a luxury. Once every 2 months it is good. Go more often if you can. We've talked about the citrus oils being very uplifting and positive. Flower oils, they're feminine, they're supportive, they're nurturing, they're nourishing. And the wood oils, again, for their strength and stability. One of each of those in a diffuser, made up in a bath blend before you go to bed. That's really going to lower your stress levels. The more you sort of take time and take care of yourself, your stress levels will come down.
Can essential oils be applied directly onto the skin or ingested?
Absolutely no. They shouldn't be ingested, and they shouldn't be applied neat to the skin. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet, and certain companies are trying to push that is a safe application. The uptake into the bloodstream through your mucous membranes, your mouth, your nose, down below, is very quick. So you're taking a very high percentage, a very high dose, which is not a good idea. And over time, if you're putting essential oils into water, it's going to just start to destroy the esophagus, the tube where your food and drink goes down into your stomach. The reason I should say this at this point, part of this, which will back it up, the reason they're called essential oils is because they are hydrophobic. So that means essential oils sit on top of water. Now, we understand that when we think about olive oil, vegetable oils, and they're oily to the touch. You can't mix oil and water. So if someone says to you, oh yeah, you can put your essential oils in your glass of water and down that in the morning. No, that's a neat application. That's why we add them to vegetable oil, to lotions, things that have a fat content, to disperse the sort of potency of them, because they are incredibly strong. And just as a sideline, aromatherapists in this country are not insured to encourage our clients to take them internally. There's a couple of companies where they're multi-level marketing companies. The salespeople have had maybe, I don't know, a weekend training? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I trained for a year. I had to do 12 hours training every year to get my insurance validated every year. Not just a case of like, oh, splash it here, splash it there. They need to be taken seriously.
What is your favorite essential oil?
And that's neroli, which is Citrus aurantium, and it's the blossom from the orange tree. Now, I am a massive fan of the citrus oils, but neroli is, it's the top. Really sweet, really creamy smell. So it's a flower, so it's got that lovely floral intensity. It's a really good de-stress oil. I had a little sniff of the bottle before I came on today to calm my nerves. And what I really love to do is put it with orange leaf, which is petitgrain, orange from the skin, the fruit, the citrus, and orange blossom, neroli. Those three together are just sublime. And it's my favorite body lotion. I've been making that body lotion and oil for years.
You know, the one thing they don't know, and actually would be a really great thing to know.
Go and have a massage. It's only going to enhance your experience by going to see a professional, as you said, to start the ball rolling, or just sort of once every 2 or 3 months. So there's a directory called the IFPA directory. That's the International Federation of Professional Aromatherapists. Their website is IFPAROMA, IFPAROMA.org. And they have a directory of practitioners by geography, by location, so you can find someone near you. You know you're going to be in safe hands.
So there's absolutely no excuse not to get one of these massages by a fully trained, fully insured aromatherapist. Okay, well, thank you so much. We're nearing towards the end of this episode. Now, I have no doubt that our listeners, just like me, very eager to look further into aromatherapy, essential oil remedies.
I think when you introduced me, you talked about my role at Severine. I work for Severine once a week. I am the person who makes the blends. We've recently launched a blend called Restore Balance, and it's part of the Wellbeing blend, and you can find it on the Severine website. And this was really wonderful to create because the idea behind this was to restore hormonal balance. So from puberty right through to menopause. And it's really quick, really instant. We talked about those rollables earlier. There's a whole range, so you can sort of check that out. You can obviously follow me through all my socials. I tend to write blogs with tips and advice about using essential oils for different stages of your life. I have been thinking about launching an online introduction to aromatherapy, because there are so many questions out there and so much misinformation, and it would be really nice to have it all in one space. So that's a watch this space. I'm always happy to talk about oils and aromatherapy and put people on the right path.
I'll definitely be interested in this course. Thank you so much, Jo, for sharing all your knowledge and your tips with us today. I really appreciate it. And